Hi, welcome to Rob's Been Running. I'm Rob. So today we are going to go through our first shoe review of 2026, and wow, it has been a long time since I've done one of these, so let's hope I remember how to do it. The shoe that we're talking about today is from a brand that I've never featured on the channel before, but they are making waves in the running shoe industry, probably more now than they have ever done in the past. So without further ado, the brand that we're going to be discussing today is Kailas Fuga, and we're going to be taking a look at their new EX330. The EX330 got its name from the race that inspired the shoe, the Torx 330. This is a race that Kailas Fuga's own athlete, Franco Colli, has won many times, and he tested the EX330 on that race. So one thing we know is the shoe is battle hardened for the mountains. Kailas say that this shoe has been built for ultra distance performance. So let's see what that means as we get into the stats of the shoe. The EX330 is a shoe built for ultra distance over mixed terrains. It weighs in a pretty light 285 grams in the UK 9, which is 25% lighter than the first version of this shoe. The shoe runs off a 5mm offset, so you get 39mm of cushioning under the heel and 34mm of cushioning under the forefoot. I like my running shoes to be anywhere between 4 and 6mm, so this should hopefully work well for me. As far as I can see, you cannot purchase this shoe from anywhere other than the Kailas website. And for the EU, the shoe comes in at a price of about €180 or £157 roughly. It also takes a very long time to get hold of these shoes. So they're coming from China, so they take a good 3 weeks to get there. So if you want to buy a pair, you need to prepare well in advance. Okay, so let's get into this shoe, and we're going to go from top to bottom. So let's talk about the upper first. The upper has been constructed of a multi-dimensional mesh. Kailas Fuga call that their XDI mesh. It's highly breathable, it's a durable mesh, and it's meant to stand up to tough conditions. Kailas also claim that this new mesh increases breathability by 40% over the previous mesh that they used to use. We have a lot of overlays running around the shoe here on both sides. You should be able to see that. And then a good substantial toe bumper up front. Really good toe bumper to protect from trail debris. The heel cup of the shoe is well structured, but it's not too stiff, so hopefully we won't get any Achilles rubbing going on there. And the toe box looks to have average width in it. We'll see obviously how that fits when we're out on the run. The lacing system is very different to what you'd see on normal shoes. It's more like the Salomon lacing system that they have, except you've got two adjustment points here. You've got one down here to lock down this part of the foot, and then you've got the top adjustment which locks down this part of the foot. You've got like a little metal loop there that you hook the laces around as you're going to secure them, just like so, and then you put it in tight like that. The laces are secured on the sides by these lacing loops. Put that in there, should be able to see that. They're pretty well made, so they feel like they're going to be really sturdy for a long time to come. The tongue of the shoe is well gusseted in the shoe, which is good. And it's light. I would say it's lightly padded. Not too much padding there, but it isn't too thin either, so I don't think you'll have any problems with it pulling down over the top of the foot. And you've got a handy little pocket here. Not sure if you can see that, not really easy to see. Handy little pocket here to stow away the laces as well. Moving on, lastly, on the last thing about the upper, you have got two gate attachments, one on either side, should you need gaiters on your shoes. Moving down to the midsole, so the midsole here, see if I can get a better look at that. Compress that in there. So the midsole has been made by Kailas Fuga's own supercritical foam, which aims to provide enhanced cushioning and rebound, reducing joint pressure over long distances. First impressions is that it looks comfortable but stable. So this is not a squishy foam like you see in some previous Hokers. This foam it's soft, but it's relatively dense, so I think that's going to keep the shoe nice and stable. So we'll see when we're out on the run. The midsole is also complemented by a nice insole in the shoe. So if we pop that out here, we'll see that insole's got some nice thick cushioning there, a few mil of cushioning. So very similar to what you see in maybe a Saucony shoe with their insoles. They have good insoles, and this one's pretty much similar to that. Kailas call it their Fuga Power Grip. So hopefully that will keep us nice and comfortable as well when we're on long runs. Working our way down to the outsole, we have got the very sticky Vibram Mega Grip Light Base. So we're going to have no issues hopefully with grip on wet roots, tree roots, rocks and things like that. And also they've come up with a very clever lug pattern design on here. So instead of getting one lug length for the whole shoe, you actually get two. So you get 6mm lugs and 4mm lugs in this shoe. The 6mm lugs run along the outside of the shoe. They're meant to offer stability and grip when turning on the trails. And then the 4mm lugs down the center of the shoe are meant to offer good traction when you're on either hard pack trails or up and down hills, things like that. They're meant to provide really good grip for that. So the lug pattern itself looks pretty good actually. You can see you've got some lugs, different shaped lugs around here in order for when you're descending on your hills, and then you've got some forward propulsion lugs to pull you along as you go across whatever terrain you're running on, basically. So it's going to be interesting to see how this performs on a multitude of surfaces that we're going to be running this on today. So yeah, let's see how we get on. As I say, yeah, we talked about the clever lug pattern, so that's really good. I'm actually hoping that lug pattern is going to work well in winter conditions for the UK, because it is pretty wet and muddy at the minute. So this will get a good testing when we're out there today. Finally, the EX330 has been made with an ergonomic design, which is going to help forward drive and stability of the shoe. So there is sort of like a slight rocker geometry there in this shoe, but yeah, let's see how that works when we're out on the trails later. So that's the EX330. Let's see if it can live up to its multi-terrain long mileage comfort claims. Let's get changed. We'll take these for a spin and then we'll report back afterwards and let you know how we get on. Right, as you can see, we are in a very wet and muddy Epping Forest, and yeah, it's pretty grim out. It's raining on and off, so it's making conditions pretty tough to run in. But onto the EX330. Well, so far so good. First thing to notice was that super critical foam. So particularly on the hard stuff, you can really feel it's absorbing the pressure, and the rebound is very good. So I'm actually enjoying that foam so far. I mean, we're only 2.5 miles in, but yeah, so far enjoying that foam. In terms of the fit of the shoe, I'm actually finding there's plenty of wriggle room in the toe box, which is good. So I wasn't sure that was going to be the case, but it is. There's pretty good room in the toe box. Also, the other thing I was a little bit worried about is the width of the shoe in general, particularly further up the foot. So I'm quite wide-footed, and this shoe isn't really a wide shoe. However, I think because of the materials that they've used to build this shoe, I don't think it's going to be a problem. We'll obviously report back at the end of the run once we've got our mileage in, and see what that's like. And then the other thing to note so far is that the lacing system seems to be holding the foot really well. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, see if they come loose, whether we need to adjust them or whatever on the run. And then yeah, and then lastly, I suppose Vibram Mega Grip handling most things well. Obviously we've got some deep mud here, it's not going to handle that, because I think you need something like a mud talon for that. And yeah, this, I mean, even these 6mm lugs, you're still asking a lot of them in the deep mud. So but everything else seems to be fine on. So yeah, pretty much as expected really. But let's crack on with the run, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Right, we are just over 7 miles in, so we've got about 2-ish miles left, so doing around about 9 miles today, which is pretty good I think for a first run. And yeah, I must say it's been a pleasant experience in the EX330. So we'll obviously wrap it up when we get back, but just quickly whilst we're going through it now, I mean, I mentioned I wasn't sure about how narrow that shoe would be in terms of whether it would fit well for my foot shape, but it seems to me that's not a problem. It's got more and more comfortable as I've gone on, so didn't worry about that, but we'll cover it at the end anyway. Still got a good lockdown. I've not had to adjust these laces, these draw cord laces in the shoe yet, which is good. And yeah, and the midsole has performed well. So yeah, it's been a pretty good experience all around. Obviously we'll wrap it up, I say, when I get back, but yeah, so far so good in the Kailas Fuga EX330. So oh, and one other thing to note, they have drained well. that upsole is sorry, the upper in this shoe is yeah, really good at draining water. So yeah, that's a big positive, because my feet have got pretty wet today. So right, let's crack on and get these last 2 and a bit miles done, and I will see you back at the flat. Alright, so we are back, all showered, refreshed, and yeah, nice and dry now after that pretty horrible and wet weather in Epping Forest. It really did kick up a lot of mud, as you'd have seen in the video there. But anyway, that aside, let's go through this shoe and see how well it performed. Starting with the upper, I would say, as I said on the run, the upper had plenty of room in the toe box. It doesn't look as wide as the toe boxes actually, but there seems to be plenty of room for the toes to splay around there, so pretty good, particularly if you're going on long ultra runs and your feet swell a little bit, it's good that there's a little bit of room in the toe box there, so that's good news. I mentioned out on the run that the shoe wasn't that wide. Actually, it doesn't look that narrow here, but when you turn it that way, you can see where it comes in. However, on the run, it didn't cause me any issues. That was the one thing that I was a little bit concerned about, because I do have wide feet, but I think because this fabric that's been made is so lightweight, and actually, if I put my, not sure if I put my hand through there, you can actually see my finger through there, so it shows how lightweight this fabric is. It's tough, don't get me wrong, it's a strong fabric by the sounds of it, by the feel of it, sorry, but you can see your finger through it, so that means that the fabric molds to your foot quite well. So actually, although my feet were a bit wider, this fabric has a bit of give in it, so I think that's why it didn't cause me any issues today. So I was glad after doing almost 10 miles that I had no issues at all, which is good. So equally, again, because of this fabric, the shoe drains very well, and boy did I test that out today with the water that we had out on the trails. So yeah, did a very good job. They said it drained well, and it does, so great news there. In terms of sizing, it is true to size, so this is a 10.5 and it fitted my feet perfectly, no issues there. In terms of the lacing system, I really enjoyed it. I had a good lockdown in all the through the whole run. I didn't have to retighten the laces at all, didn't have to do anything to them actually, they were just there. The laces stayed in the lace pocket, which is good, so I didn't have to push them back in that pocket, they stayed there. So yeah, I really enjoyed that lace system. It's the first time I've run in a shoe with laces like this, because I don't use Salomon shoes, again, because they're too narrow for me. But yeah, this one went down very, very well, so I'm happy to continue using that, and I'd like to see that used on a few more shoes if possible. No hot spots or blisters from this shoe. Obviously only did up to 10 miles, so we'll see when we go on a longer run to see whether we'll get any hot spots or blisters. Hopefully not. Overall though, comfort was good from this upper. Moving on to the midsole. The midsole performance was really good. I enjoyed it. I think it's just the amount of right amount of absorption and softness in there, but not being too soft so that it becomes too spongy. On impact, it absorbed well the debris underneath your foot, so didn't feel any stones coming through or anything like that. And when you're on hard trails or tarmac, plenty of rebound. So I really enjoyed that, particularly if you're a heel striker as well. I would say this shoe will work well. It really does absorb the impact well when you're landing on your heel. Maybe if you're not normally a heel striker but you're descending on heels, or when your legs get tired, you know, after a long ultra, you do tend to heel strike a bit more because your form disappears out the window, and this absorbs that really well. So I was really happy with that comfort from the midsole. Also, I mentioned it was soft but not spongy. That meant you had a good stable ride. So absolutely no issues at all running on uneven technical ground. There was some, you'd have seen in the early part of the video, we did run off some off-camber stuff down some slopes and things like that. Absolutely no issues there. The grip held well, and the stability of the shoe was really good as well as part of that. That insole in here, that 3 or 4 mm insole that I showed you before we went on the run, also added to the plushness of the shoe. So I think that was a really good addition. Well done, Kailas, for that. Really helped with the shoe's comfort, and I look forward to using that over a long mileage and seeing how well that holds up. But in general, I think this midsole is perfect for ultra distances. I think it's that right level of cushioning mixed in with good stability, and I think that will help absorb the shock on your joints really, really well over long distance runs. Then moving on to the outsole, grip and traction were faultless, as you'd expect from a shoe with Vibram outsole. Those multi-length lugs did well, did a good job. The 6mm ones on the outside definitely helped with stability. Obviously, some of that mud was really deep, so it doesn't really matter what shoe you've got in that. I think you're just skating round really in the forest or on the trails when the mud's that deep, skating around trying to stay on your feet. Luckily I did stay on my feet, but where the mud was more sensible, I'd say, or more conservative, these things gripped really well. Had no issues at all in that terms of things, in terms of grip. So I was really happy with the outsole traction, really good. There are some grooves worked into this, and I forgot to mention this actually at the start, but you've got these grooves across here. You'll see some grooves there, and then you've got some grooves here, and then there's some grooves down the bottom here. They are designed to help clear mud out of the shoes, and they appear to work well. I'm a bit dubious when people put, or when shoe manufacturers put things like that in their technology, but actually, to be fair to Kailas, it seemed to work, so it was good. I come back and obviously I've cleaned these a little bit now because I needed to. They were disgusting, but it had no mud stuck in any of the grips when I got back, so that was really good news. So we'll see how well that does going forwards, but yeah, good news there. And as with all Vibram Mega Grip outsoles, the durability should be pretty good on this. Obviously we didn't test it, you know, we did 10 miles. We'll see how it holds up after 100 miles, but hopefully it should be in good condition. So yeah, I think overall, really positive performance of the shoe. I guess the only other comment was this particular colorway is white and blue, maybe not the best colorway, and a little bit of orange in there, but maybe not the best colorway for a British winter, because that mesh now has, yeah, it's gone a bit brown, and it's probably going to stay like that now. So but anyway, aside from that, and there are many other colorways in this shoe, so you'll see those on screen now. But yeah, otherwise I think the performance of this shoe was great, to be honest with you, and I'm looking forward to doing plenty more miles in that shoe. But let me know what you think. Have you ever run in a Kailas Fuga shoe? If so, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. It'd be really interesting to hear your thoughts. It's pretty hard, as I said before, to get hold of this shoe. The price is not too bad. I mean, for a shoe, what you're getting here, and I think it converted to about £157, it's not bad in today's market to get all that amount of shoe for that price. So, but they are hard to get hold of. You do have to order them from China. It takes about 3 weeks to get the thing, but once you've got it, it's great. So yeah, I will look to try and review a couple more Kailas shoes, I think, in the future. They do several on their website. Go take a look at that. I'll leave a link in the description of this video. But yeah, let me know what you think. Well, I think that wraps it up. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, and remember to hit that like button. It is much appreciated. Thank you very much. I'm going to go off and get myself ready for my long run tomorrow, 22 miles in the EX330. So thanks very much for watching again. Train hard, race hard, have fun. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care.